Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. India celebrated 73rd Republic Day with the iconic parade at Delhi's Rajpath, showcasing our military prowess and cultural pageantry. A flypast by 75 aircraft and helicopters was the highlight of this year's parade, including stunning bird's-eye visuals of the formations.
Indian Air Force transforming for the future.
Flight Lieutenant Shivangi Singh, India's first woman Rafale pilot, a part of the Republic Day parade this morning. Overhead, the Indian Air Force flew 75 aircraft, including its latest Rafales and Chinook helicopters. And for the first time, in-flight cockpit video of the flypast, albeit recorded footage.
17 Jaguar विमान.
Sadly, a low cloud base meant that the grand finale, a 17 Jaguar aircraft formation in the shape of 75, was not visible from the ground at Rajpath. But on the ground, other than the usual marching contingents, the Indian Army's new combat uniform was showcased, worn by paratroopers as they made their way down the central vista. Among the most colourful performances, the CRPF singing their theme song. But in the midst of it all, it is election season after all, and the Prime Minister's attire made headlines, with the Uttarakhand Chief Minister pointing out that Mr. Modi was wearing a cap from Uttarakhand, along with the Brahm Kamal, the state flower of Uttarakhand. He was also reported to be draped in a stole from Manipur. And then this final goodbye to Virat, the bold charger from the President's bodyguard, who's been a feature at 10 Republic Day parades. This will be his last. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Now, Ghulam Nabi Azad was the lone Congress leader to be awarded a Padma award under the Modi dispensation this year. The move has once again spotlighted the sharp divide within the party, with the leaders of the G23 or the group of 23 rebels and the Gandhi family supporters sparring openly. Former Union Minister Anand Sharma wished Ghulam Nabi Azad for being awarded the country's third highest honour, calling it a well-deserved recognition of his lifelong enriching contribution to public service and parliamentary democracy. His colleague Kapil Sibal was more direct, saying that it's ironic that the Congress doesn't need his services when the nation recognizes his contributions to public life. The Congress leadership has not formally responded to the announcement, but shortly after the Padma Award winners came out, Jairam Ramesh aimed at his colleague with this tweet. Now let's shift focus to some election news as the BJP tries to formulate a fresh strategy to consolidate the crucial Jat vote of the western Uttar Pradesh. Union Minister Amit Shah met Parvesh Verma, the son of BJP's former Delhi Chief Minister Sahib Singh Verma. Mr. Verma had put it as a meeting where Jat community leaders had come to flag their issues. Feelers were also sent to Rashtra Lok Dal's Jayant Chaudhary over the possibility of an understanding. This is what Mr. Verma said after the meeting.
पश्चिमी उत्तर प्रदेश जाट समाज के जो प्रमुख व्यक्ति हैं वो सभी यहाँ पर आए थे और सभी ने मुझको अच्छा लगा कि सभी ने बहुत ही दिल खोलकर अपनी शिकायतें, अपनी तकलीफें, अपनी आवाज को गृह मंत्री जी के सामने रखा। देखिए, ये बात तय है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी। जयंत चौधरी जी ने एक गलत रास्ता चुना है। यहाँ के समाज के लोग उनसे बात करेंगे, उनको समझाएंगे। कोई भी समझाने को मना नहीं किया जा सकता।
And soon after, RLD leader Jayant Chaudhary tweeted this rebuff. He said, "Don't give invitation to me, give it to those 700 plus farmer families whose homes you have destroyed." He was, of course, citing the farmer deaths during the long protest against farm laws. It's a do-or-die battle for western Uttar Pradesh. Farmers' agitation, price rise and communally charged rhetoric could hit the BJP hard in this agrarian sector dominated by Jats and Muslims. With 113 assembly seats at stake here, the BJP heavyweights, including the Home Minister, have been pulled in to woo the Jats. The crucial Jat vote in Western UP had propelled the BJP to power in the last 3 elections.
Home Minister Amit Shah held a crucial meeting with leaders from Western UP in Delhi. That too with prominent Jat leaders, a community that propelled the BJP to power in 2014, 2017 and 2019. But the farmers' protest meant a wave of discontent and now an attempt to do some damage control. But the BJP has sensed a political opportunity. The election campaign is hotting up in Muzaffarnagar district across all 6 assembly seats. To counter the BJP, which won all 6 assembly seats in 2017 elections, the SPRLD alliance has come out with a new electoral strategy this time. It has decided not to field any Muslim candidate in all 6 assembly constituencies to contain the division of Muslim votes in Muzaffarnagar, which has an estimated 40% Muslim population. But just as in Meerut district, where denial of adequate representation to RLD's Jat leaders by the SPRLD alliance in ticket distribution has annoyed a section of local Jat leaders and supporters, the local Muslim leaders and supporters of both the Samajwadi Party and the RLD are extremely unhappy in Muzaffarnagar with the decision not to nominate even a single Muslim leader in any of the 6 assembly seats here. In an interview to NDTV, the local RLD leader Noor Salim openly voiced his discontent on camera and questioned the SPRLD leadership's decision.
नूर सलीम साहब, आप भी क्या चुनाव लड़ने के लिए तैयार थे इस बार?
मैं पूरी तरीके से मैं राष्ट्रीय लोक दल में इसीलिए गया था कि मुझे चुनाव लड़ना है।
इग्नोर किया गया है कम्युनिटी के इंटरेस्ट को, गठबंधन को ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था।
हाँ, गठबंधन को ये बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए था, किसी एक को छांटते, लेकिन इन्होंने किसी पे नहीं बनाई। बड़ा दुख है, मायूसी है।
The local Muslim leaders of the Samajwadi Party like Liaquat Ali and Qadir Rana are also said to be extremely angry with the denial of tickets to them. It is believed that Muslim voters comprise around 40% of Muzaffarnagar's electorate. The BJP and the SPRLD alliance here are in a direct electoral contest. The SPRLD alliance wants to limit division of Muslim votes to avoid polarization, which could help the BJP. But the anger of local workers and supporters against this decision is visible on the streets in Muslim localities of Muzaffarnagar. They are unhappy that they can't send even a single Muslim leader to the UP Assembly who could have raised their problems and issues there.
बस हम तो यही बता रहे हैं, जो कादिर राणा को वोट नहीं, जब टिकट नहीं दिया तो हम तो वोट देने के नहीं।
BJP had won all 6 seats in Muzaffarnagar in the last assembly elections here in 2017. The BJP candidate in Muzaffarnagar Sadar seat and a minister in the Yogi government, Kapil Dev Agarwal, claims the SPRLD alliance will pose no challenge for the BJP.
समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार प्रदेश के अंदर थी, यानी 17 से पहले, तो प्रदेश के अंदर आतंक, भय, खौफ, महिलाओं में, बेटियों में, व्यापारी में एक डर, ये खौफ था, इस खौफ को दूर करने का मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में योगी आदित्यनाथ ने किया, जो प्रदेश के अंदर सबसे बड़ा अचीवमेंट है। सड़कें, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, 24 घंटे लाइट और एयर कनेक्टिविटी और रेलवे कनेक्टिविटी, ये सब मैं बातें मानता हूँ। सबसे बड़ी बात है सुरक्षा, और ये काम सबके लिए हुआ।
Muzaffarnagar goes to polls on February 10th in the first phase itself. Clearly, a lot is at stake for both the BJP and the SPRLD alliance here. In Muzaffarnagar, Mohammad Dilshad, Sudhish Ram and Himanshu Shekhar for NDTV.
A passenger train was set on fire and another was attacked with stones in Bihar in violent protests by students against a railway jobs exam. The government has now suspended the exam and has set up a committee to tackle the grievances of the protesting students.
Burning trains, protest on tracks, lathi charge and tear gas shelling. For over 48 hours now, a raging battle is on between railway exam students and the government. The crisis showing no signs of ebbing. A conflict over a railway exam taking a violent turn, with some protesters burning a train coach in Gaya. Rail Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw now appealing to the students to not take law in their own hands.
एकदम सीरियसली आपके सारे पॉइंट्स को लेंगे। मेरा निवेदन है कि कोई भी छात्र कानून को हाथ में न ले।
Students who appeared for the Railway Board's NTPC 2021 examinations alleged that there were discrepancies in the results and therefore started their protests. These demonstrations later spread across several cities, including railway bogies being burnt in Gaya. The Railways is now on the back foot. The non-technical popular categories or the NTPC and Level 1 Group D examination has been suspended.
एक 5 सदस्यीय हाई पावर कमेटी का गठन किया है। अपने सुझाव जितने भी हमारे विद्यार्थी हैं वह 16 फरवरी 2022 तक दे सकते हैं। इसके लिए वे RRB committee@railnet.gov.in पे ईमेल कर सकते हैं। यह कमेटी 16 फरवरी 2022 के बाद छात्रों से प्राप्त सुझावों पर विचार करेगी और 4 मार्च 2022 तक अपना रिपोर्ट सबमिट कर देगी।
Close to 1.25 crore people applied for the level 6 of the NTPC of railways and around 60 lakh people have appeared the exam. The examinees, however, alleged that the railways' decision to hold the exams in 2 stages, claiming the second stage for the final selection amounted to cheating. There was only one examination mentioned in the RRB notification issued in 2019. Examinees say that the railways' data on the number of candidates selected is in doubt. They allege that there are instances where the same candidate was selected in 2 or more places which came at the cost of someone else's rejection. As a result, the cutoff went up and even those who scored good marks could not make it to the computer-based Test 1 result. The fallout of these demonstrations was also seen across cities such as Padma, Nevada, Muzaffarpur, Sitamarhi, Buxar and Bhojpur districts. In Jehanabad town, angry students burned an effigy of the Prime Minister. Several trains were also seen cancelled or ran on alternative routes on Tuesday on account of these protests. The protests also raised the political temperature in Bihar and poll-bound Uttar Pradesh. Students want that the results be declared again, but the unfortunate fallout of this crisis are the violent protests across Bihar. But the question, an important and an unanswered one, is, was this completely unavoidable and where does the responsibility lie? With Manish Kumar in Patna, Parmal Kumar here in Delhi and Sanjay Kaushik, Shanakshi Chakrabarti for NDTV.
Nearly 3 dozen eminent personalities have written a joint open letter to Karnataka Chief Minister and the state legislators expressing their concern over what they call frequent violence against religious minorities in the state. Here's a report.
In a scathing criticism of BJP-run government in Karnataka, 34 distinguished personalities have written to Chief Minister over violence against minorities. The letter alleges that the state government is unable to rein in fringe and anti-social elements. They have stated that the state has witnessed the brutal killing of youths, rampant hate speeches and disruptions of worship by religious minorities. These trends have been encouraged by the callous and unconstitutional statements made by legislators. The letter is signed by 34 individuals, includes historian Ramachandra Guha, scientist Mahesh Shah, environmentalist Dr. Yellappa Reddy and others.
All intellectuals in Karnataka state, very well-known personalities, we feel humiliated, and all our chief ministers are known for their statesmanship, and they did not allow such excesses in our state.
Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai dismissed the claims made by the personalities, ignoring the recent spaten attacks against Christian community.
All the rights of minorities and others which are enshrined in the constituency are protected to the hilt, and if there is any excess anywhere, immediate action has been taken, and we will protect the minority rights.
Taking note of the recent attack of Christian community and passing of various legislations such as Anti-Conversion Act and Cow Protection Act, the eminent personalities noted that the state was no more a harmonious and a secular state. With camera person Govind in Bengaluru, Shrija for NDTV.
128 Padma Awards have been announced this year. The list comprises 4 Padma Vibhushan, 17 Padma Bhushan and 107 Padma Shri Awards. One of those who's been honoured with Padma Bhushan is India's star para-athlete Devendra Jhajaria. 40-year-old Jhajaria is two-time Paralympic gold medalist in the javelin throw. He won gold in 2004 Games and 2016 Games. He also won silver in the Tokyo Paralympics last year. He has now been honoured with India's third highest civilian award. I spoke to him a short while back. Devendra Jhajaria, हमसे जुड़ने के लिए शुक्रिया and many congratulations on being honoured with Padma Bhushan. You have won 2 golds at Paralympic and silver in Tokyo last year. क्या रिएक्शन था आपका जब आपको पता चला कि आपको पद्म भूषण से सम्मानित किया जा रहा है?
सबसे पहले तो आपने बधाई दी, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और पहली बार जब मैंने देखा कि लिस्ट में मेरा नाम है पद्म भूषण की लिस्ट में, रियली मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा प्राउड मोमेंट था वो, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। और इतनी खुशी थी कि सोच रहा हूँ फोन किसके पास करूँगा। तो एक अलग फील थी, क्योंकि देश में पहली बार डिफरेंटली एबल खिलाड़ी को, पहली बार पैरा स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन को ये अवार्ड दिया जा रहा है, पहली बार इतिहास में। ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है।
आपने 2004 में पहला पैरालंपिक गोल्ड जीता था और टोक्यो में लास्ट ईयर आपने सिल्वर जीता। ये टॉप फॉर्म इतने सालों तक कैसे मेंटेन किया आपने?
कई बार मैं भी सोचता हूँ, सफर काफी लंबा हो गया। 18 साल पहले ओलंपिक मेडल लिया था, 22 में आ गया हूँ और इंटरनेशनल कैरियर मेरा 20 साल का हो गया। काफी एशियन मेडल जीते, काफी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में मेडल जीते, ओलंपिक में भी जीते, पैरालंपिक में जीते। सफर लंबा था, लेकिन मैं हर दिन सीखने की कोशिश करता हूँ, और जो व्यक्ति हर दिन सीखने की कोशिश करता है उसके लिए वो सफर लंबा नहीं लगता। अभी भी मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मैं आगे और ज्यादा सीखूंगा और अच्छा करूंगा, बेटर करूंगा। तो जिसके अंदर सीखने की भूख होती है वो ये सोचता है कि सफर काफी लंबा तय कर लिया, लेकिन और भी बाकी है अभी।
देवेंद्र, has Tokyo Olympics been a turning point for para sports?
बिल्कुल, मैं कहना चाहूंगा, आज भी मुझे याद है 2004 के अंदर जब मैं एथेंस पैरालंपिक्स में गया था और वहां पे मैंने वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड के साथ गोल्ड मेडल जीता था। लेकिन सच्चाई ये थी कि वो मैं खुद के पैसे लगा करके गया था। लेकिन टोक्यो पैरालंपिक बिल्कुल अलग था। जाने से पहले हमसे सभी खिलाड़ियों से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बात की, उसके बाद परिवार के सदस्यों से बात की, फिर टोक्यो में हमने जब मेडल जीते तब फिर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने फिर से बात की। इसके बाद जब हम इंडिया में आए तो रियली एक बहुत बड़ा हमारा वेलकम हुआ था, आज भी मुझे याद है। और मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि ये जो मेरे को पहली बार ये डिफरेंटली एबल को मिल रहा है, इसके लिए मैं सबसे पहले धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को, जिन्होंने पैरा स्पोर्ट्स को एक विजन के तौर पे लिया है, एक मिशन के तौर पे लिया है और हर फैसिलिटी हमें अवेलेबल करवाई है। तभी तो आप देख सकते हो कि टोक्यो पैरालंपिक्स में हमने 19 मेडल जीते हैं, जबकि आज तक के इतिहास में सिर्फ 12 ही मेडल थे हमारे पास। तो आप देख सकते हैं कितनी बड़ी अचीवमेंट थी हमारे देश की।
जी बिल्कुल। और अंत में मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, ये अवार्ड से आपको क्या लगता है, लोगों को प्रेरणा मिलेगी स्पोर्ट्स एज अ करियर लेने के लिए?
बिल्कुल, विशेष तौर पे मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि जितने भी देश के डिफरेंटली एबल लोग हैं, कहीं न कहीं उनको प्रेरणा मिलेगी, कहीं न कहीं उनको साहस मिलेगा और कहीं न कहीं उनको यह पता चलेगा कि गवर्नमेंट ने हमें रिकॉग्नाइज किया है इस अवार्ड दे करके। और इससे ज्यादा कहीं न कहीं मैं पर्सनली बात कहूं तो मेरी देश के प्रति जिम्मेवारी और ज्यादा बढ़ गई। तो मैं और ज्यादा मेडल जीतने की कोशिश करूंगा मेरे देश के लिए। मैं हर समय मेरे देश के लिए बेस्ट से बेस्ट करने की कोशिश करूंगा।
All right, Devendra Jhajaria, many thanks for joining us and congratulations on being honored with Padma Bhushan. Well, that's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.